unlike many folks, I think I wasn't like, I'm going to go start my own thing. It was a real kind of like process and story where I was working in management consulting, cursing the ground I walked on every day when I didn't, I was in Washington, D.C. at the time after grad school. It took me an hour and a half to get to work to just sit at a desk waiting for a project as a consultant. And I was like, God, this sucks. Like, so I thought, well, what if I start a side hustle just to pass the time? And that's how my last company was born, from being a little seating chart app for weddings to becoming hospitality software with 6,000 customers and 20 million in revenue. The story is that I was a single guy and I thought, I'm going to a wedding. I'd love to meet a young, eligible potential partner. So I said, okay, well, I got this. I was invited to my first American wedding. And I thought, well, I'd love to know who's at my table to know where the cute girls are sitting. So I said, well, what if I could see Facebook profiles of people ahead of time at my table? Tell me who's sitting there. I want to talk to Tommy. I want to talk to Matt. I want to talk to people. Let's go. Like, let's network. Let's meet people. So I thought, well, what if there was a seating chart, a social seating chart app, hence the name Social Tables. And our logo was a chat bubble with chairs around it. And I said, well, let's hook up this seating chart into the social graph and allow people to see who's at their table. And initially, that's what it was. It was a social seating chart. And we click, and then it was just like a grid on a website, on what's called a single page application, where it's just kind of like drag and drop people into seats. And then we realized that people planning the events had more of a need for this tool than the people attending these events, because getting people to kind of change their behavior is really hard. So moving away from spreadsheets to a kind of visual application is what started it. And then we realized, well, wait a second. The software that's being used to do this in the hotels, in the venues, in places like the Boise Center, which is a customer, places like the Grove Hotel, where all these function spaces, is really old. It's server based. It's on the computer. It's not cloud. It's not collaborative. Let's move this stuff to the cloud, and that's kind of like what happened. And I sold it started in 2011, sold it in 18, and when in those 8 years, we had 6,000 paying customers, 3 billion square feet of meeting space mapped out, and about 1.5 million events planned in the software on an annual basis.